Do. So let's see. Alright then. Hello, myself. Figured we continue and finish up this bit before I do anything else. Get away would probably be the best to use for this. Let's see how this goes. Hey, Frost. I think after this, I want to work on Becky's nun outfit. Oh, you're doing another update? Oh yes, the scary bun. Ah. Well, if it looks good, then there you go. Go for it. I might use this version of her for something, but mainly she'll have the mouth and eyes and all that. Because that'll be her default look. Interesting story. Or interesting idea. I don't know if there's more to it. But yeah, that could be an interesting story. Hello, Armors. Yeah, writing is always a good thing. I wish I was a writer. Or I wish I was better at writing, I should say. But I will do what I can. Keep the top part dark. So she can be a little spooky in her default. Or in her covered state. Amrias? Really? Armiras? Huh? I mean, Armiras was just the first thing that came to mind. So, I don't know, it could be all the anime and stuff I watch. Who knows? Then again, I watch a lot of Kamen Riders, so I don't know, maybe that got me to figure it out faster. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. ROR Season 2. Okay, I think I got most of her hair. That's not too bad. Ring of Red. I've never watched it. Or Record of Ragnarok. Never seen it. Either of those two I have not seen. I think I might have heard of Record of Ragnarok, but I have not heard of Ring of Red. I need to reapply some of this. There we go. Yeah, some of this will reapply. There we go. That's better. Ring of Red's an old PS2 game. Interesting. I think in her case, instead of using the typical blue, I'm going to use the green that she has. I'll use this. Okay. Some of it so it's not so harsh. Can always turn it down. Let's try like 70. Hope everyone's doing alright. Yeah, I figured I'd finish her up today, since we pretty much did all of her line art. It's one of White Bat's songs. Let me grab this particular link. This is the one that I'm currently, or hold on. I mean, it should take you to it, but it's gonna be in a playlist form because I'm listening to the playlist. You're welcome. Yeah, White Bat has really good music, and it's royalty free too. Got me notes ready now. Hello. Welcome. Just working on this bun before I work on other things. Stuff I wanted to do. Just grab this particular strand of hair. Next will be for highlights. Let's see. Let me see how this looks first, because I might swap to her colors. It's not awful, but let's just see how it looks in her color. Not too much of a difference, so I'll just stick with her colors. I think it's better to just use the colors that I'm using for her overlay. I mean, it's always situational too. Kind of pick your battles. And a lot of her is really bright to begin with, so not really much I need to do with her. Yeah, because you can barely tell if I'm even addressing some of her skin. Or for whatever she's supposed to have at this point. Her skin fur. I don't know, I'm just talking. Let's see. Do her hair. Do I have many brushes? I just been using a soft brush the entire time. I technically have two. One's like the default soft brush, and then I have like a second one that I modified a bit just to be a little bit more subtle. But I could technically do this all with the same with the default soft brush. I just made a second one just to make it easier to be subtle instead of constantly adjusting pressure and stuff like that. But yeah, you can do this all with the default soft brush. She looks a bit pale. Ah. Well, yeah, it's Thibault Thursdays. I don't know. Just maybe I'll make that a thing, like Thibault Thursdays, where I draw like a thick character or something, just for the fun of it. Honestly, soft brush is pretty much like works for everything if you know what you're doing. Like, obviously, you know, certain brushes for specific things are useful, like, you know, scales or something, but you can do pretty much everything with soft brush. Or even like a pen, like the pen tool, and then once you're done with the line art and you put in all the colors and all that, you can soften the line art with a blur. But when it comes to shading, yeah, soft brush can get a lot done. Thank you for the follow, Games with Jewel. Jewel. Every time I see Jewel now, I think of Kamen Rider, where there's a villain who uses the power of a jewel, but the way the memory that he uses to transform into Jewel, it always goes Jewel. So now I always think of that scene every time I see Jewel. Hello, Pablo. The quack. But yeah, like, sometimes the simplest things are just easier to do, or easier to use. because like a lot of the time, simple tools can make something look complicated or look like super detailed. I'm just gonna put in these details just in case I need them. But yeah, like other brushes are mostly just to make certain things easier. But a lot of it you can just do in the soft brush. Well, that's good. Have fun with the new tablet. Gotta break it in. Let's see. Let me turn this off for a moment. Yeah, I figure I'd finish up working on her today before I moved on to other things. And I just finished one of the jam picks, so I'll be working on the last one tonight. I'll probably do like a speed paint video of it. And if I decide to add something extra, then I'll do that on my own time. A lot of her details you probably won't see because her design. That's fine. That's kind of the point, really. That way, if she's in like certain lighting, you'll see something else. So turn this back on. There we go. Okay, so all of that is done. Next we'll put in the blacks for her sleepy eyes, or her dead eyes. And I can always adjust it if it's too much. What program do I use? Clip Studio Paint, or Manga Studio, however you get it. I use the version 1 update, or yes, I use version 1. There we go. I was like, how was I going to say this? Yeah, I like the tablets that have the screen that you can draw on. Because I used to have one where it was just a pad and you had to like look up at the computer screen in order to draw to see what you're doing. And I always felt very disconnected doing it that way. Like it always felt like I was just doing it wrong. And then I finally got this one, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so much better. 70 should be fine. Yeah, 70 should be fine. Let's see. Let's turn it up to 80 maybe? Yeah, 80 is just enough for it to settle. Okay, did all that. And she's not going to have any reflection in her eyes to keep her ghostly.
Krita. Haven't heard of that one. Honestly, most, if not all, painting programs can get what you want to a degree. Just depends on how you utilize the tools. And like some programs are made easier than others, because like Photoshop, for example, wasn't really made initially to do like, you know, drawing and stuff like that, because it was supposed to be a photo manipulation program, and then later on started adding in stuff like that. For Clip Studio, it was designed for drawing and comic artists in mind. So it was purposely made to do what it's supposed to do. Okay. She's not going to be shiny, so that should be fine. And that should be okay to blur her line art. So let me zoom in to make sure I get it right.
clean up her cheek though. That's why I clean this up before I blur it. There we go. Procreate. Spooky ghosty pets. So, let's do the sheep first. Because the eyes and all that, and that's gonna take a while. So do it this way. And the sheet is no, the sheet is lighter than her skin. But it might be just easier just to do it all on her skin. Just so it's more uniform. So let me just do it this way. Everything looks selected. There we go. Luckily, the sheet doesn't have crazy things going on. All I need is the color. Let's see what's up with her. Okay, that's coming from me. So yeah, just gotta do some cleanup. So let me get the parts that need the green first. Erase what we don't need. This was already here.
go. That was quick. So next. Don't forget to save. There's probably not much of this that I need to use white on, or the light parts for the shading, because a lot of hers are already white. I could use it on the face, but kind of defeats the point, because the face will be glowing. So I think I'll probably just leave that alone. Yeah, like she'd probably be like some kind of like side Easter egg thing where if you can find all the locations where she's supposed to scare you, then you'll eventually get like a cutscene or something where she finally does scare you because she takes off the sheet, and then I don't know, she'll give you an item because it made her happy. That'd be kind of funny. And I'll just shade this whole part. It's supposed to be thin anyway. Let's see. Get this going. Then I'll do the shading on her arm itself in a moment. Or I'll probably do that towards the end, that way it's easier to do. What's going on with DeviantArt?
You should be able to. I've done it. Doesn't give you the option. It should be like one of the first things on the top of the screen. Just says core. Right, let me check mine, because I don't have core right now. Yeah, it's like literally the first button, just next to the search button, just says upgrade the core. Unless somebody like gifted it to you already and you already have core. Oh, for payment method? Yeah, I've used PayPal before, so I don't know why you're not able to use it. Points or credit? I think you have to go through credit to find the option. I have no idea, honestly. I have not thought about it. Like, let me just look and see what it comes up for me. Click. Blah 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 blah. I'll just click this, see what happens. Go to checkout. Yeah, I think you can, but you might have to have a card for it. Like the PayPal card. That's my guess. Because it's been a while since I used it. Because the only times I ever get core is if I need like another folder for DeviantArt or something. So I don't use it that often. If at all. And every once in a while somebody will gift me core, so I was like, oh okay. And then I'll take that time to like make some folders that I need for later. And if you can use points to do it, then that's a whole other thing. Doesn't accept your card, huh? Is it expired? Nah, it's Italian. Huh. That's strange. I don't know if there's like any limitations of the card and stuff like that. Let's see. Try not to shade too much of the face. I'm only shading it because her chest kind of lifts up some of it. I think that should be enough. That should be good. Next. Let's fix that. Some of this I'll reapply because her hair is in the way. Trying to keep the shade that's
going below her chest a little subtle. Baker says, "Oh my god." But no, I want the bond to come. Even if she can't gain weight, she should be able to hang out. All are welcome, even if they can't put on weight. They can always appreciate the thickness. So even if she can't get fat, that doesn't mean she can't appreciate others who can get fat. I don't know, it completely depends on if she's even into it, so. God, I'm lucky ghosts. Yeah, and plus, you know, there are the ghosts that can possess people and make them fat, so there's that too. Come on. Can't exclude them. I'm doing alright. Yeah, you gotta include the ghosts that possess people and make them fat. Come on, Carrie from Amazing World of Gumball possesses Gumball and then possesses his dad. That was a fun time. Yeah, conversion rates is weird. Like, it should just be like $10 equals, I don't know, 1,000 or 10,000 points. Like, you know, whatever makes the most sense. Like, the fact that people had to and probably still use a conversion calculator for DeviantArt is stupid. Just make it make sense. Make the amount of money you're paying look balanced to the points, so that way you're not sitting there guessing. It's not like $10 gives you 750 or some stupid shit like that. I know of those, but I've never played them. I don't know much about them. But yeah, I don't know why certain sites and companies just have to complicate things. I'm sure it's someone's bright idea and they just don't want to change it for whatever reason. It's like, oh, well, that was Douglas's idea or something. I don't know. First word that came to mind. Sorry, Douglas from Creamfield. Nothing on you. Okay, this should be fine. Put a little lighting on. Nah, should just leave it alone. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we should be good on this. And whatever works, whatever doesn't work, I can always adjust it. Probably not going to need this for too long. So there's not much ever.
Unless I just make it like a spooky, eerie glow underneath her sheet. I could do that, but I don't know if I will. Yeah, conversion rates and money in general are always going to be a pain, especially when like certain currency are worth more than others, or whatever the case may be. Because I don't know who decides on that shit. Yeah, if you need the points for something, then go for it. Yeah, there's not going to be much using this color for. Move on to the next step. I think I'll emphasize this area a bit more. Not much, but something. Yeah, PayPal has always been iffy, especially in recent years with the whole, if you're making too much money, they'll start like screwing around and like not let you withdraw all of it or whatever nonsense. Not sure if they're still doing that because of all the controversy that was going on, but that was a thing. Where it's like, oh, you're making a lot of money, because like apparently, because like I mean, it's like every bank, even though PayPal's not a bank, they'll like invest people's money so they can try to, you know, do whatever it is they're doing. Which personally, I don't think banks should be doing that, but whatever, I guess. It's not like that's changing anytime soon. Should it change? Probably. Depends on how the system works in that sense. Because, you know, banks have to stay in business so they can do what they do. Yeesh. Well, you definitely want to use a name that, because like if you start doing more of your work in the future and all that, you want a name that's like easy to look up. I say with the most fucking well, it's not the most complicated name, but it's definitely not a name you come across. But the names that I have, I was definitely not thinking ahead of time. That was not a thought at the time. names. I was not thinking about pin names and stuff like that. If I could change my name on Fur Infinity, that would be great. Just so it's uniform with all my other accounts. But alas, I cannot. But that's fine. Well, it's more like when whatever name you start becoming more known for, that's the name that you're going to be addressed as. So, like, if you pick a name that's, like, you know, not exactly helpful for media, for people who are trying to promote you, then it just becomes it just becomes harder for people to recognize you if nobody else is promoting you because of your name. So it's just something to think about. It's not like you necessarily have to do it, but it's definitely something to think about. And then in some people's cases, they use their pen names so that way they don't have to use their real name for whatever reason. Fine. Unless I want the sheet to look like there's holes in it. I think that'll just be like a ghastly image that just only appears when she actually puts it on. My page is so fucking basic still. I still want to take the time to learn about all of the nonsense you can do it, and I'm just like, I'll just do it. I'll just leave it. Leave it basic. I don't remember if I had to pay to change my name. I think I didn't have to in the beginning because it was still, because like I joined DeviantArt when it was still like super basic. So I think I got away with changing my name before they started charging for it. Okay, I think we're good on this. Next. Yeah, and like when you're decorating a page, you also want it to be readable and easy for people to find your shit. So you just gotta take stuff like that into account. I probably don't need this, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Just so I stay consistent. And then I'll put the glow effects on. I'll do it now, just so it's something I can switch on and off. I'll do that for her eyes in a moment. it seems a little sloppy. Let's fix that. That's better. That way I can turn it on and off. Let's do that for her eyes real quick. Doo-doo-doo. Let's see. The reason of the I don't know. It could be because if you're trying to get on an old account, it could have been because once they changed things over, if it wasn't like functioning for a certain period of time, maybe it crashed or something. I have no idea. I'm just thinking of ideas or guesses. Because it could be as like, well, it was inactive for so long that they probably just didn't bother. Make her mouth glow too, just for the hell of it. Okay, so we got this much of her. Let's turn off the glows for now. I think I'll just put the glows on a separate layer so that way this isn't annoying. Okay, let's turn that off. Oh yeah, I need to still mess with the line art. Alright, now her sheet is done. So this would be her normally, if I did go extra and give her a bunch of shit underneath her sheet. I don't know what to tell you, like a lot of... It could be a connection thing, I don't know. Because a lot of that stuff just goes pretty quickly. Or it could be however big the file is. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if it's your location or something else. Alright, so how are we going to do this? Put this in a folder. I'm just going to call it face or teeth. I don't know. I'm just going to call it monster. It just makes it easier. Okay, to start it off with, okay, what's going to be the most annoying thing to tackle? probably the flesh. So let's just grab the colors for that now. I'll grab this color for the green. Probably make it darker. Oh yeah, that was gonna be annoying. Am I gonna have to get that? Maybe. It's gonna be annoying, but I'll have to address it later. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those colors that's just gonna be annoying. That's okay, that's part of the eye. Blah, 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 blah. Do I need to address that? No, but I do need to clean up the liner. Should be good. Because the parts that are gonna be annoying are the edges of her skin. So let's grab that the best I can. Stupid mad shirt and a breast eyes or boob eyes. Okay, this is actually gonna take a moment to do it like this, it should be fine. I just gotta pay attention to how I shade it in the future. There we go. Like, it shouldn't be too challenging, but it's still something to think about. It's one of those things where, like, the method that I do it in, I have to adjust just so it'll make sense. And then luckily in the future, if I ever draw her showing off the monster, there are ways I can go about it. That's fine, I just need to address the color that's here. There we go. That's an interesting take. Yeah, I'm looking at it, Frost. That's an interesting take. Let's see. Gotta fix this. Yeah, balancing that stuff out is always going to be a challenge. Because the hard part is just, you know, making it feel natural and not like it's just there. Try to shake this one hips. There we go. Okay. So got all this. The hard part is just the extra stuff that I had to do over there, but I'll address it when I can. Put you in a folder. Yeah, like you'll get better in time. I have no idea if I've heard of Ellistorn. To me, hyper is when you make the proportions like almost the size of the character. Or at least more than half the character. That's to me though. That's what I classify as hyper after a certain point. Teeth. How are you with teeth? Should it match her or should it be more gross? Looking at the colors I got here. Could probably be like a yellowish, like a greenish color. That way it'll match her a bit. Yeah, let's tweak it. It's like I'm trying to match her, but also have it stand out. So let's just see what it looks like, and then we'll go from there. I don't have links for chat just in case certain people, just to prevent certain people from tossing in things that they shouldn't. But but you could probably word the link in a certain way, so that way it's easier to see. But I don't normally have it on for chat, just because of certain people. Yeah, you can do that on DA, and I'll check it out later. Or if I have a chance, I can check it out during the stream. I have no idea why I put those there, but whatever. Oh yeah, I should probably color that part. Do it this way. That's not good enough. Lighter than that. Yeah, that's better. Definitely need to color this part of her a different color. Just to make it look like it's part of her. Hello, Furry Inspector. Fill this in. Fix some of this line art. Doing well, just finishing up Holly's artwork. It's almost done. I'm on the last part that I need to work on for her. For the last version. Thank you. Some of the line art while I'm going about it. So that way we don't have too much giant black lines. I always wonder how strong our sky is from. Anything that was from the neutral ending, so like all the demonic powers that he got, is considered not canon to true ending. So he has different abilities than he did in that part of the story. They still pretty much function the same, although I'm debating on whether or not he can eat his own cooking, which he probably could, and he just wouldn't be affected by it. But for that part of the story, that part is not canon. Neutral ending is the path where Skylar cooks Tiffany. Like that's like the easiest way of putting that one. Like the black and white pages, and whatever color page that was on chapter 6. Then true ending, because like they're all marked. Well, the newer ones are marked because the first ones didn't say neutral ending, but they are part of the neutral ending path. While true ending, all the pages have TE in it, so that's how you know. And then bad ending should say BA. Why aren't you colored? There you go. But yeah, paths like that are the ones that are considered not canon now. Yeah, like that one, that one's not canon anymore. And it's mostly because like a lot of stuff changed over time, like because originally iHat was like its own universe, and then I slowly moved that into the World Gates universe, and then some things needed to change based on like what characters would actually do. Because at the time, Daylock, aka Satan, I mostly just used her just because why not? She was like the devil. Might as well use demonic powers and shit like that for Skylar. But then, as I was moving the series over to the World Gates universe, that's when I was like, okay, Daylock likely wouldn't even bother addressing the shit that was going on with Skylar. So that was changed. Well, I do like Sonic, so that's probably somewhat true. At least Sonic's writers are trying now, like they're having the whole lore master thing, if they haven't finished doing that already. So I appreciate the effort. Especially if they start putting in comic characters into their games, which I'm really surprised they haven't, because those would help sell the games a lot more if they did that. Because now it's like, oh, here's the character I read about in the comics, now I get to play as that character. Like, that's like an easy sell.
Like, who does not want to play as Whisper? You know, the literal sniper wolf. And she has different wisps for each ability. It's like, come on. She's like literally one of the best characters to put into a game. Thank you, I'm trying. I'm trying to make it all make sense. Alright, take care, Amaris. You know what? I'm just gonna color this screen just for the hell of it. It's probably not even necessary, but I'm doing it anyway. Now to decide how I'm gonna do the eyes. Because this part's gonna glow. I think I'll probably just do this just to put it there. Just erase whatever doesn't need to be here. How many nukes would it take to kill everything in my hell? 0, because you can't destroy it. Hell, it's like its own dimension. And then dealing with literal Satan probably wouldn't be a good idea. And she's not the only god that exists in their world, so probably wouldn't be a smart thing to do. They've already had to deal with one god going missing. They don't need to deal with more. All it's gonna do is piss them off. The Jim Hill. If we're talking about the Thybul's version of hell, that's a whole other discussion, because we don't know if that version of hell even exists. If it does, Daylock probably just catered to the idea and just made it like a thing for that kind of belief system. But under normal circumstances, that probably wouldn't be a thing. And let's erase the parts that we don't need to be here. The question is this part normal? No, it is not. So what am I gonna do about it? Let's try this. Until it gets into that area.
should fix the problem. We'll just color this in. Or the teeth. And just for the sake of it. Just realized you're talking about I Hat Hell, not Thibault Hell. Trump would never be elected in that world. Like, good luck. Plus, they have the best president ever. Velma Steele, who's like fucking gun-ho about advanced weaponry and shit like that. Like, she's just waiting for the planet to be invaded by aliens at this point, and she'll just nuke the shit out of them. And she's all about, you know, unification of all species, so she is hella freedom. It's like if a war was going on, she would literally put herself in that war just so she could have excitement going on. She's like, oh, we're at war? Fuck yeah. And gets her fucking giant mech. She's like, cancel all my appointments, I'm going to war. Breeders of Expert. That comic is okay, but after a while it just feels like it's just dragging on now. Like, I don't dislike it, but it's definitely losing its appeal to me. Yeah, like a lot of it is pretty much just the same thing going on over and over with very little changes, or if there are changes, it's like not interesting enough of a change. And it just feels like, because like wasn't there like 8 different paths or something like that, or at minimum 6 or something like that, and then even then it was just kind of like, alright, maybe 3 paths would have been okay, but for so many, and a lot of them are pretty much the same thing, it just kind of loses its interest, because it's like, all it's really doing is just implying that, oh, you know, they're in for a interesting future when, you know, the hive becomes more, or they implemented, oh, here are hybrid people and shit like that, but it's just not that interesting anymore. Like, I honestly think they'd be better off just making a new comic now. Because like they did that one with the goat woman and the demon that she summons, which was interesting. But like even with that comic, you can only go so far based on where you're going with it. Because I guess it gets to the point where if you make the world, what's the best way of phrasing it? Like in the case of the demon woman and all that, if you make it so that the things that she was able to do are plausible, then then they're trying to like implement the children stuff. It's like, okay, now that you're tossing the kids into it, how do you make that interesting? And then when it comes to the invasion stuff, it's like, alright, are you just gonna make this like this big, like, oh, we're gonna make an army, blah 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 blah, and then how's that get interesting? And then they're probably gonna do some giant war thing, and then it's gonna be, oh, the new queens took over, or the queens got defeated and converted, or some nonsense. It just kind of loses its appeal because of how much has been being dragged on. And like people are mostly just there to see the bellies of the pregnant women, because it has nothing to do with weight gain. It's just pregnant women. I mean, like technically that's a classification of gaining weight, but you know what I mean. So, and it's like pregnant women and eggs. So it's like it was interesting in the beginning, but now it's just really dragged on. Yorjadov is the best god. She's definitely up there. But yeah, it's like, again, I don't dislike the comic, but I definitely think it should be over and done with now. Just move on to something else. Yora's a great god, but she is an archetypal god. I don't know, she might be offended by that. She's like, excuse me? Of anybody who should appreciate thick thighs, it would be me. How dare you? Okay, so the question is, how am I going to do this? Let me do it this way, just in case. Okay. Keep pixels. Because the hard part for this is going to keep this part up here and down here. Because I might have to go about it in a weird way. The easiest answer to this would have been to just make another line art layer and go from there, but I'd already did shit to that layer. Oh well. Like I said, I'll mess with it when I get there. Cause like, see, we got this little spot right here to match her skin. So yeah, I'll have to adjust it over time. Yeah, it's just gonna be something I'll have to like erase or draw over with based on where it is and stuff like that. Like there are answers to this question. It's just gonna be a pain in the ass. She appreciates gluttony, but our god embodies all that is fat. She's already pissed off at literal gluttony. You don't want her pissed off at this too. There's already a character that is gluttony. Not necessarily the god of gluttony, but just a representation of gluttony. But yeah, she's already pissed off about that. You don't want her getting pissed off about not being included in a religion about fat. Of all things.
Just go to Viro and be like, hey Viro, nuke this planet. I'm done with it now. He'll be like, what? Then again, she could technically eat the planet, but she's already decided not to do that stuff anymore because of past incidences. Yeah, I have a gluttony, but she needs adjustments. Like, let me bring her up. She's nothing crazy. Open. Like, I'll bring up both versions of her, which I'm not really too happy about the current version, so I might adjust that one too. I am in the wrong folder. Characters. I think it's in here. No? Yeah. So here is an old version of Gluttony. So I'm definitely gonna change this up. So yeah, this was an old one. Like, this is hella old. This was like 06, 08, something like that. And then where are you? I think it was in the Astacast. Come on. Ah, there it is. And then she is right up here in the back. But definitely gonna change this up, because I'm not too happy with it. So yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about you. You might get changed. Cause I might change you. Whatever. Whatever I decide to do. Anyway. Yeah, because it's supposed to be this character. Let me bring her out. Nemesis, did I give you... Well, it's supposed to be this character, but I've updated her several times, because I think her current look is... I'm like literally trying to remember where the hell I put all this shit. Is it this one? No, she's not in this one. Might be these. Trying not to grab the risque ones if possible. If I do, I'll have to blur her. Okay, cool, she has clothes. Grab this one. So yeah, this is her currently. Compared to her old one. And then I did do a, I think it was a commission of her. It was either a commission or a poll winner. Let me see. Let me check the polls first. Is she in here? Luckily I name all my shit. That's another thing. When you're saving your stuff, properly organize and name your things properly so it's easier to find. Because, good lord, saving things online is a fucking nightmare. It's like, oh, what's the name of this file? 6D89FKX. I'm just like, God help me. Might have been a commission, let me see. Maybe I put it in here.
Lots of Becky stuff. Hold on, let me check and make sure she's clothed. Just in case. And she is. Okay, nothing's showing. Alright. This was one for a commission, but she can potentially look like this canonically. So yeah. I didn't name anything on all 400 of them hard drives. Oh, I named my shit, trust me. Yeah, there are some people that are slimes in their universe, and yes, the slime bunny has to do it for. So yeah, there is gluttony in that universe, it's just not a god. Yeah, I want to upgrade the gluttony form because I'm just not happy with it nowadays, especially since it's supposed to be gluttony. So I'm gonna make it not as muscular as the old version was, because the only reason why the old version was muscular is because it definitely fought before. Okay, and let me. Select this because I wasn't paying attention. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna have to select it for this. Okay. Like it can still be able to fight even if it's like supposed to be a fat monster, a fat blob, or whatever the hell I'm gonna make it look like. I just want it to better match what it's representing. I don't know if I'm gonna do that for all of the Sin characters, but Gluttony is definitely the one that I want. Gluttony and Envy are the ones that I want adjusted the most. No, I haven't tried Witch of Gluttony. I'll have to look at it more to see if it's something I'll play. Did I draw Sloth? I don't think I drew Sloth at the time, so I don't think Sloth has a design yet. I have a version of Pride, but not Pride's like full state. Wrath would be interesting because like I have an idea for that one. I just have to draw it. And then Lust, I already have a character who represents Lust. But yeah, like it'll all be stuff that I'll get dressed, because a lot of it shows up in World Gates, so that's a whole scenario going on with that series. Oh yeah, I didn't do the shadow for the sheet. I'll do that in a bit. Or I'll have to remind myself to do that. Because I gotta do it for this thing too. But yeah, there's just so many ideas that I have, some of which I have done in the past, but now need adjusting for the new to adapt the newer shit. Characters need updates. Stories need updates. I need updates just so I can draw more consistently. So, lots I need to do, and I'm trying to work on it. Probably will tie into like rescheduling on how I do streams and stuff like that, so that way I'm not like tiring myself out. Which I'm fine. Like I work on stuff, like I take breaks and stuff like that. So, but I definitely feel I can do better. But I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. But the streams are helping because they're putting me in a consistent state, so that way I can be timely with certain things. And it's definitely helpful if I'm using the streams to like work on character stuff, like the adoptables and all that I've gotten need like artwork for my world, so how they will look and whatever ideas I initially had for them. Like the Cookie Rofox that showed up in Creamfield. Like eventually I want that character to have a comic, even if it's a short one. And that's like another thing. Certain characters will just get short comics because they're just like not like world impactful. Or even if they are, you know, it's just like a simple story. It's not supposed to be overly complicated. Which might be something I'm thinking about for World Gates. And not so much Buckle, but Buckle could probably get a similar adjustment. Where I think I'll just focus more on certain characters and their arcs in certain stories. And like obviously if they meet up with other characters, then they'll still happen. But I think I should stay focused on like a huge grand thing until like the very end, where it's like, you know, kind of like an Avengers type of thing. But that needs to be built up. It obviously can't be just something I jump into. But yeah, like I can definitely see myself going the route of shorter, more focused stories, and then whatever events or sequences that need to happen can happen in their own space. Because like for example, in I Had True Ending, in the chapter in chapter 5 where Marcy and Skylar go to the seafood restaurant, if you notice, there's when they go into the private room, if you notice, the private room is really, really, really big for what it's supposed to be, and it almost looks like it's a room that's that has like a different purpose. And one person did figure it out of what that room was supposed to be, as well as who's supposed to be there, because the character who's supposed to be there shows up in that scene as a cameo, and it's only briefly, like they're only there on the television screen. So like shit like that I still want to happen, and I'm glad that people are slowly figuring out some of my ideas and events that go on in certain pages, such as at the same restaurant you see 2 other characters, well, technically 3, who are in the middle of their own story arcs and stuff like that are going on. Yeah, a lot of it is pretty much all of it is in chapter 5 of I Had True Ending.
Because you'll see one character who's part of Black Circus, and 2 characters who are part of World Gates. Technically 3. So like, shit is happening. It's just a matter of when I'm able to get around to it, and if people are paying attention to the breadcrumbs that I've been putting out. Which luckily some people have been noticing. Because like most of the time, if you see a character that's like overly detailed in the comics, that's probably because there's someone important, or at least do something that's worthwhile or noticeable. With that said, though, some characters still have to be somewhat detailed if they're like, you know, conversing with a main character. So like, you know, if they're like a delivery person, they gotta have some kind of design if they have a bit of significance going on. But a lot of the time, if it's like a scene that has nothing to do with why the character is there, the main character is there, and you just suddenly see like a whole bunch of other really detailed characters for some reason, then they probably have something going on. Like in Black Circus Chapter 1, where Joanne goes to the underground, and you just see a shit ton of characters, and nearly all of them have something going on. Especially, let me see, what page was it? Black Circus, Chapter 1. On page 19, you see several characters, and then on page 20 you see Lucy. Because Lucy originated from World Gates during like its one of its reboots, and back then she had no name. I think I gave her a name when it was like one of my birthdays. But yeah, lots of shit going on, and I kept the characters who are supposed to be in those locations. But now it just boils down to when I can get around to drawing those stories. So that would be the challenge. Watch, I'm gonna hate myself in the future when I have to draw this character with all this going on. Luckily that won't be like the majority of the comic, but I'm still gonna hate myself for designing this character with these extra stuff. It's like, all you had to draw was a bunny with a sheet. Why are you doing all this? Like, look, there are certain things I want to do, certain things I like. And I do like spooky, dark stuff. But I also like cute things, so that'll work out too. Question, since you said none Becky is next, she's gonna be smiling. She will not be smiling for one. But I will make her look all saintly or you know, religious. It's just gonna be like a costume change for the avatar. But looking at the time, I don't know if I'll be able to work on it for the stream. But I'll definitely work on it off stream. So like the next time I stream, because the next time I'll stream will be on Saturday. So if it's ready by then I'll be wearing that for this. I'll have her wear that for the stream.
it's just something fun. Like, it shouldn't take me too long to make it, especially since it's gonna be flat color and all that. But it'll just be something fun. Praise Becky's white ass. And it's mostly just like the avatar, like you're not gonna be seeing too much to begin with. But it's just for the joke of the Thibault. But I do want to do stories that have to relate to a thick religion and stuff like that. Like I said, a lot of things I want to do just boils down to being able to do it and when. Teeth. Yeah, I can already see some of the hard parts, but we'll get there when we get there. I got everything. Shade a little bit more. Might as well. Get all the necessary parts. This is going to be a challenge. Second one just in case. Alright. You take care. Yep, see you on Saturday. Hey, Alex. Other than just talking about like different versions, or me making tweaks to character designs, and me thinking about how I'm gonna go about World Gates in the future. Not too much. Just been working on this character. Like, I'm thinking of doing World Gates in a similar format as I'm doing I-Hat and Black Circus, where I just try to keep the stories focused on certain characters and events, and then if those characters tie into like other characters and stories, then do it that way, instead of making it like a too big of a major thing when it doesn't need to be. Like, try to have a little bit more focus and not do some unnecessarily grand thing. Buckle is more focused on one character anyway, so I don't think that series needs to change too much. Just gotta do more Buckle. But World Gate, since it's so many other characters, I think I'm better off focusing on certain events and stuff like that for each character, or you know, whatever the individual story is about. And then if they ever need to like join up with other characters, then things have already been established to make that more clear, or to make that work better. So that's how I might tackle. That's how I'm thinking of tackling it. And like, I can always like revisit characters that end up doing more in the future. Because like Jolly, for example, does quite a bit throughout his series. So I think the World Gates comics will have like a lot of like to be continues and cliffhanger stuff, because it will be going on with different characters. Whereas I-Hat and Black Circus have like definite endings to a character's storyline, or like at the very least you get closure to what they will be doing. There was a larger story. It's just a matter of cohesion to make it make more sense and stable. Especially since the world that they live in is so varied with characters. But I think it'd be better off to go through different points
of characters. Like the thoughts I'm having right now are like, let's just say I did a story on Jolly, and the first story just has to do with, I don't know, like him meeting his girlfriends and stuff like that. So once that's done, then I can hop to a different character. But then say Jolly has more to do, then like after addressing other characters in like either chronological order or just to, you know, go down the line of characters and not just like stay on one for too long. If Jolly has more to do, then we revisit him, and then we continue on from not like where it was in the comic that I started him off with, but like whatever point in time that we're currently in. So like, let's just say after doing the first Jolly comic, I do Viro, and then I do like Eon. But then like I return to Jolly, and that's at that point in time, that's after the events of whatever was going on with Viro and Eon. So something like that, if that makes any goddamn sense. Yeah, the easier breakpoints. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of doing it. And that will pretty much be the challenge of it. Actually, for this thing in particular, it might benefit it being a different color. I'll mess with it later. But yeah, there's just like, because so much goes on in that series, it might be better if I just break it down, so it's not so overwhelming. Because like compared to the two older comics of it, it was just like an ongoing thing until the end. And then when it went to World Gates 2, that was just a different cast of characters doing their own thing. But I think I'll have to break it down. Or at the very least do it in volumes, so that way if there needs to be a big cast of characters, it'll be easy to tell which story starts from where. Nah, Stacy wouldn't gain that much weight if she did at all. Maybe a bit of a pooch belly, but that's probably it. One thing, wait years long webcomic series that they can grow to. Yeah. Because there is a big giant thing that goes on in their series, but it's one of those things that I'm looking at to see if there can be decent enough changes where it's not too overwhelming, and not like doesn't get complicated for the sake of it, or unnecessarily complicated. So it's gonna definitely be a balancing act. I guess the best way to put it's like, think of it as like reading something like Bleach, where you know, you have like the characters, and then it continues on to like other locations and stuff like that, following the characters, and they got like villains and stuff to fight and stuff like that. Think of it like that. that was the initial way of how I was doing it. But I might change that up. Or at least try to make it easier to go about it. Yeah. It just have to be a thing where I have to really take my time with it. And not, like, try to throw in too much if it's not needed. Like, not every character's story needs to tie together. Because, like in iHat's case, the only reason why characters like Jolly and them show up in those comics is just because their chain of events are going on at the same time. Like, it doesn't ultimately tie together, but it's just like more of a reference rather than... It's more of like an Easter egg or a cameo rather than like, oh, so this is when this is going on type of thing. Like, it's not a necessity to know. Before I do anything, I want to see. Okay. You ever feel the need to sacrifice sleep? If I sacrifice sleep all the time. It's not a good thing to do. But I tend to keep myself active throughout most of the days and take periodical naps, which aren't the best thing to do either. Like, the way I sleep is like a couple hours at a time, sometimes a little more if I'm feeling cute. It's like, I'm feeling cute today, I think I'll take a nap for this many hours. So definitely not a good thing. Don't do what I do. Harem children. Yeah, resetting to during ads doesn't help you because you're just going to end up either watching a longer ad or more ads, and you're better off just watching the ads that you're already watching. Because resetting doesn't always work, if at all.
Because I think Twitch got wiser about that over time. Oh, the stream froze. Okay. For a moment I thought it was like an ad showed up and trying to reset in order to avoid it. Like, nope, that doesn't work. Not anymore, at least. Let's see. Let's brighten these up a bit. Do-do. Guess I'll do that since there's that thing in the stomach. So far, the shoulder teeth don't look too bad. Or the shoulder mouths don't look too bad when combining it with everything else. Let's turn this off for a moment, because this will have to be here. There we go. Yeah, but the ads are what keep the sites going. They're a necessary evil. If having to see an ad means I get to see more fat art or whatever, then that's worth it. It's like, what? I get to see fucking Toriel from Undertale get stuffed with pie? Cool. Speaking of... No, let's skip it. Yeah, but that's why they do the whole monthly thing. Because it's like, well, if you don't want ads, here you go. Here's your option. So, it's more of a pick your poison scenario. The only times that ever ads really pissed me off is like in the middle of a video where you're already in the middle of listening to somebody talk about something, and then all of a sudden an ad happens and it totally breaks your immersion of the discussion, and all it's doing is just pissing you off because you're right in the middle of a discussion and suddenly an ad. Like, it was different when creators on YouTube were able to, like, I mean, I think they're still able to do this, but they would make their videos and then be able to put an ad, like, they would purposely make a break in between, so that way they could put an ad there, and then that would be fine, because at least then it doesn't, like, interrupt the discussion. Like, that I'm totally fine with. But when it's, like, in the middle of a goddamn, like, action scene or something, and then suddenly fucking ad, then that pisses me off. Because that's how it was with fucking Crunchyroll, where you'd be watching it and then like a fight scene's going on, and not every anime has ads at a certain point. They do it at whatever random point they do it at, and so Crunchyroll's ads were super inconsistent with whatever show you were watching. Because like, let's, like, for example, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX
clearly had, or Yu-Gi-Oh in general, clearly had moments where it's like, okay, here's the part where the ad shows up, and it even shows you like a splash page going on, and then later on, when anime shows that don't do that, they just have like fight scenes, and then it'll do a ad after a certain point. Sometimes you just get an ad in the middle of the fight, and it just pisses you the fuck off. So yeah, when ads are done right, then I don't care about them. But when they're done in a way that interrupts the fucking thing I'm watching it for, then it pisses me off. Yeah, like beginning and ending of videos are perfectly fine. But like when it's during or in the when it's during the video, when there's no appropriate break for it, then that's when it's being done wrong. Or when a situation happens and you gotta watch like 8 ads in a row, and then each of them is at least 30 or more seconds, or sometimes even longer than that. Then it's like, dude, what the fuck? But yeah, like, ads keep a lot of sites going, so I don't have a problem with that. It's just the placement is what pisses me off. Today's Spooky Bunny is brought to you by Raid Chat. No, it's not. I would laugh if fucking Raid Shadow Legends ever fucking came to me for anything. I'd be like, you serious? The 90s Ghostbuster toys that would transform into 2-3 ghost form. Oh yeah, huh? Those did happen, huh? Yeah, because there used to be those toys back in the day where you'd get like the normal character, but then it would come with like all these like monster attachments and shit. Oh man, those were fun. Yeah, because I had like a water venom toy, and he had like a giant mouth for an arm, and he had like fins and shit because his body was adapting into for water fights and shit. Man, those toys were sick. Like Aqua Spider-Man was cool because he had like the water gun, the backpack, the fucking headgear and shit, and the flippers and all that. Man, that was cool. Don't you dare drop a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor on us. I've seen them so much. If Raid Shadow Legends ever came to me for something, my first question to them is like, do you have any fat characters? Either fat characters or furries, which I know they have furries, but I don't know if they have fat characters. And then it would also boil down to how much they were offering. Because obviously, you know, make that bag, but then I would just make it clear, like, hey, this shit is sponsored. But I would almost do it just because of the fucking joke of everything being fucking sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I would probably do it for that. And that's when I realized that I am shitting the shit out of this one. I probably don't have to, or lighting the shit out of this one. I probably don't have to. Because I was like so immersed in the conversation that I wasn't paying attention when I was doing. But yeah, that shit would be funny. Big titty gator. I'll have to look at that later. Ah, rhymes. Okay. I think we're good here. Now for this part. Still gonna avoid adding shine when they're not necessary. For like parts of the eyes that aren't necessary. I am gonna add drool, so I'm gonna have it like drool like green slime or something. This is what I want. Okay. Like, seriously, like, I would love it if fucking Arknights came and did anything, but that's, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But, only thing Arknights is missing is just some thicker characters, like body type wise. And then more furry characters. That'd be nice. Because we got like what? 4 furry characters? Because we got Waifu, Hung, Ak, Lee. Is that it? Is it just those 4? Because I know there's more characters, but they're not playable. No, we got, what's his name? Is his name just... Fuck, what is his name? Because there's 2 of them. The lizard boys. What's his name, like A6 or something like that? Unless I'm thinking of a different character. No, I think that's the woman. The bird woman. But she's not like full bird. But yeah, like we got the 2 lizard boys, so we got like what, 6 characters that are furries. And then the only one that's like canonically thick is hold on, let me make sure the music's going. Yeah, there we go. The only other one that's canonically thick is fuck, why am I blanking on names here? Yeah, like Emperor Rat King and Y and Fumizuki, which I wish Fumizuki was fucking playable. But yeah, all of them are fucking furries. Because Tomimi is the thickest character playable. That's canonically a thick character because of her tail. But yeah, like we don't have a lot of playable furries yet. But they put in plenty of furry NPCs, so it's pissing me off. I was like, guys, come on. You just gotta do one more step. Okay, so got this going. Teeth. I think we'll get there. It's just they're taking their sweet goddamn time.
because we got a shit ton of Nekomimi characters. Actually, I think that's literally the majority of the cast are Nekomimis, with the exception of the Rainbow Six characters who are pretty much full human. They just wear costumes and shit. Because I like using Cat Ash. Okay, so got all that. Next, we'll put the glow on the eyes. Oh, you did? Okay. My question to you is, if you did email that, how did you word it? Because wording is very important when you're trying to get companies to do something. I know, it's like, hey Ash, where's that cattail attached to? And she'll just glare at you going like, don't you start. Or she'll just glare at you and be like, where the fuck I put it? But yeah, like, wording is very important if you're trying to get companies to do something. Like, no joke. Hi, I noticed how fun and cute the game is from people streaming it, and I was wondering if there are any plans of adding cute fat girl character, such as a cute and big tummy. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, good. Yeah, you gotta address it properly, because if you don't, they'll just make them not want to do it. Even when you're trying to get developers to answer questions, you gotta word it in a certain way that allows them to answer your question without technically telling you the answer. Because that happened with the Avengers browser game. That was so goddamn fun. It really pisses me off that Square Enix didn't do something similar. But it was during the time where they wanted to add Mr. Sinister to the game, and they were allowing people to ask them questions. And so everybody just kept asking them stuff like, you know, oh, is so-and-so going to be in the game? Is so-and-so going to be in the game? And all the developers could really say was things like, you know, oh, you know, I can't answer that right now, or you know, we'll see what characters get added, blah, 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 blah. So me, knowing how developers act in this situation nowadays, or back then, I said, what characters would you like to see in the game? And they straight up said Mr. Sinister. And one person actually got pissed off at me, and it was like, why would you ask such a dumb question like that? That doesn't tell us anything. And then I'm just sitting there going like, you don't get it. And so sure enough, Mr. Sinister shows up in the game, and I was like, oh, guess my question wasn't so stupid, huh? So you gotta know how to talk to them. Cause like, obviously they can't tell you something that they're not ready to announce and shit like that, or that they can't announce yet. So you have to word it in a way that allows them to say it without telling you, like without confirming. Because that is a very important detail. Because if you want any information from a character or from a company, you gotta leave it open for them to not be liable for shit. Yeah, because like the very character that the developer told me that they wanted in the game was in the game. And it wasn't even like the character showed up later down the line or something like that. No, it happened in like the next event that they were doing. So it happened like almost immediately. So it's literally the character that they wanted to, because they didn't even say Mr. Sinister was in the game at all, because he was a boss and stuff like that. But like I gave the developer the ability to say this character is in the game, but I'm just saying, oh, I would like to see this character. So it made it very easy for him to answer that question without confirming that the character was in the game. So yeah, stuff like that is very important if you want developers to kind of tease you with something without confirming it. Because if you just straight up ask them, hey, is so-so going to be in the game, they're not going to be able to tell you. But yeah, hopefully they take your question into consideration, because I'm pretty sure that would give them a lot more flexibility with body types and stuff. And like nowadays, they should be fully aware that people are totally cool with thicker characters, so it'll be interesting to see how they go about it. If I had to take a wild guess, they'd probably make the character somewhat jokey, where they'll probably have the character like snacking all the time or whatever, and maybe even be a healer, or a tank healer or something. Because that way it's like, oh, here, have some snacks, you know, something to cater to the gimmick. But hell, I'd fucking take it. Yeah, I would totally take that shit. Like, I don't care what animal, just fucking do it. I'd laugh if they put in like if the character was like a boar or a pig, but yeah, totally do that. Thinking of fat characters in a game reminded me of this old hilarious story from when I was 14. There's Fat Chocobo. They could be unlocked via a promo code. This is fine everywhere. Run the glue, touching China, rotate it. Force characters to indicate ridiculous KFC jobs. What the fuck? I remember people getting Fat Chocobo. I thought that was cute. Because it was like, yes, it's Fat Chocobo. Look at him. He's so fat. If they don't, we'll make them thick anyway. Yeah, but it's always fun to have, like, an actual character in a game who is thick. Like, not necessarily for representation stuff, because, like, that's a whole other can of worms. But just, like, you know, for variety's sake. Because it's like, you know, you want to have a lot more character variety, whether they be a robot or a furry or semi furry or you know, necromimi. And then body types is also a fun way to change it up. But yeah, like, it just helps for more variety, and then also it'll likely get more people into the game because it's like, oh look, there's this fat character.
Oh, that'd be fun to watch Wooly's video. My words always land on deaf ears, but at least in a sense, yeah. Like at least you did something. Better for them. Better for you to even tell them that you're interested in a character like that. And hell, maybe later I'll send them a letter or an email. Because if more than one person does it, then there's a chance that that'll actually happen. And then, like, I don't think it's difficult for Arknights to make a character like that. Like, other than like the 2 pieces of artwork that they would need, it should be easy. Because it's like, what, the character standing there for the default art, and then the special art for when you E2 them. And unless they decide to animate it, that's a whole other thing. And if the character gets like a costume or something, but that's usually later down the line. So yeah, I think it's doable. They would just need 2 pieces of art, and that's pretty much it. Now that I think about it, I don't think they've done a pig character. I don't think they have. They probably did, and I just don't remember. But yeah, like, I'll totally do that. I'll be like, yo. Well, I'm not gonna say yo. I would probably just say like, hey, I was showing off a little bit of Arknights and blah 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 or something. But yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't at this point. I mean, they literally did an event about thick and thin tails, so it's not too far-fetched that they would make an event or make a character who was properly thick. Or even more, or even like a more bottom-heavy character. Most of the time they'll make female characters, but there's also a chance that the character could be male too. So it'll be interesting to see if it happens. If it does happen, it'll probably be quite a ways off, because the English version of the game is about 6 months behind the Chinese version. So if the character is made, it'll probably show up in the Chinese version first, or likely to show up in the Chinese version first. Although there has been times where certain characters only appear in certain versions, or at least for a limited time, like certain outfits or events only happen for a certain amount of time. So it kind of depends on if we get certain characters or not. Which I don't think they'll hold off a character, because I don't think there's been a character that they've only had for the Chinese version. I think it's only just been the costumes. But in terms of getting a character, it should be fine, because I can't see it being an issue. Plus, there'd be no point, because no point of it being an issue, because it'd be an original character. But yeah, the Chinese version usually gets it first. So unless there's like a very specific event going on that can only work in the China version, we should be good. I find it crazy. Some people just play both versions. Some people play the English one and the Chinese version. I'm just like, fuck. Because, like, I mean, there's, like, enough guides to tell you what each ability of each character does. So it's not like you really gotta read anything. You just gotta know what the abilities do. And then aside from, like, certain enemies having certain mechanics going on, you should be pretty much fine. Yeah, I think the odds of it being a female character are pretty high, since a lot of the characters that they show off are women. And usually there's like one male. Sometimes two. I think in like one of the recent events we actually got 2 males for once. But I think we also got like 2 or 3 women in that same event, so it kind of just depends on what the focus is here. Alright, and I think we're good on her monster tummy, or monster face thing, whatever the hell this is supposed to be. But before I forget, I need to add the shadow stuff. Not sure how complicated I'll get with this, but definitely needs to be here. Okay. Try to make it as natural looking as I can. Trying to emphasize on these areas. Should be good. Just gotta put some shadows here. Save, just in case. Check bug somewhere around here. Alright. that's good. Put this here, just so it's easier to get to. Let's ungroup that. There we go. So now when I turn that on, there we go. Let's put this above the slime. There we go. So turn that off, turn this on. Everything's good here. Oh yeah, we need to add the shadow for this. Do it this way. Let's select it just in case. Oh no, can't do that. I can probably put this on the bottom layer. Oh, it lagged across the house. Hopefully it isn't tripping out too hard. Make it look like it's actually draped over her. There we go. Let's look at 50. It's not too bad, but it's maybe a little bit darker than that. Let's lighten this up a bit. There we go. And then turn that on so it looks spooky. Alright. Pretty much got her done. So let's give her a background and then finish it off. And I think that'll be the end of this stream. Wanted to do more, but this took up a lot more time than I thought it would. I honestly thought it'd be a lot faster. Anyway, let's turn on the sheet. Turn on her eyes. What does this look like? Okay, you can't even see it at all. Background.
Thank you. Yeah, this was fun. And she's only one of many adopts that I've gotten over the last couple of years, so there will be more to work on. But let's see, let's give her like a spooky background. Let's try to make it spooky at least. Let's try to go for like maybe like a darkish blue with the green. This will be a lot of trial and error. This. There's be a lot of tweaking to get it the way I'm thinking. Let's see, how does this look? This way's not too bad, but let's lower it a bit. 70? 70 is not too bad. Thank you. Yeah, I try to keep it as close to the original as I could, but, you know, the way I draw is the way I draw. I can probably, you know, adjust over time. Let's see. Next I want... Where is it? Textures, smoke, clouds, copy, paste, now to erase whatever I don't need. I'll just keep it like that because I can erase it. That's not too bad, but let's see what else we got. It's like I like this, but it's hella bright. It's like if I did do it this way, I would need something to counter it. So hold on, let's copy these. Let me make a copy of this just in case. Let's merge these together. And then eraser. Let's try it this way. Oof. Yeah, hopefully your internet gets fixed. It's mostly here that I don't want, so bits of it. Where's that? So I got some of that. Turn this back on. Change that. See if we can like manipulate it to look even crazier. Ooh, that's not too bad either. That's the color burn one. And this is soft light and all that. Overlay, soft. Straighten that and color burn. I really like the color burn, so I'm gonna stick with this. I just need to erase the stuff I don't need. And then we'll adjust it. Always read as color bum. So erase all that. Shut this down. It's almost like a black fire. It's actually pretty neat. So I'm gonna look back and be like, how the fuck did I get there? And hopefully I didn't erase settings and shit. So there's that, and now we'll do something with that. Let me just make sure all of this is. Oops, wrong button. Delete. Let me save just in case. And another character club for scrawny, skinny characters. Good lord. I mean, not like I can't, but it's a lot to manage already. So let's see. I'll just look if I did this. I'll probably tweak it to go in the background, so I'm gonna put this here. That way it doesn't affect the fire. This is still here, so let's delete this. There we go. Yeah, this looks nice. Maybe tone it down a bit. Lord, give me strength. Took years off your life. So, let me just see how this looks if I lower the brightness of it. So this is at 20%. So 10%. It brighter. I think I'll just keep it bright. But let's tweak. Let's mess around and see what happens.
got all that. Maybe a little something extra in the background going on. So it's not just like the fire and then nothing else. This open. Maybe have like a ghostly void going on in the background. Where am I looking for? There you are. Copy. Paste. Something like this, but I think I might need to stretch it out for what I'm looking for. So, I want this much. Yeah, that's better. Actually, do it reverse. There we go. So let's do it like that. And then depending on how I tackle this, can make it look interesting. Just try to self-light. Let's mix this with her glow. Use that. So let's do this. Oof. Might be one of those things I gotta. Let's see, let's put you on. Eesh. Let's see how I can get it normal. Ooh, that's interesting. Fuck it. Let's just mess around and see what happens. Actually, this looks good. Let me just lower this. Erase some parts that don't need to be here. So erase this so that way it's not like a straight line. There we go. And then, lastly,
have some spirits roaming around. Kind of like they're being whisked away upwards. Try not to put too many. Something like that. Maybe like one up here to offset it. There we go. Trying not to put too much empty space. Add some green to them. But yeah, when I post her, I'll credit the original concept artist. Yeah, I don't think I blurred the teeth. I'll do that in a moment. Yeah, let's blur this just a little bit. This I know I did blur. I don't think I blurred the teeth. Let's take a look. No, I did not. Time to be a real life badass. Alright. Now there's only one other hard part out of this whole thing. And that's figuring out how to do her
outer glow. Actually, it's not hard. I just gotta pull it off. So here's her character select. So if we combine that with this one. Huzzah! Okay, I just gotta do two different ones. So we'll do this one first. Let me grab our colors. This is the best one to do it with. So next. Zoom in. Yeah, I was gonna do that. Oh, let me rasterize this. There we go. Let's try 20. Not too bad. What does the 30 look like? I think 30 is fine. Then depends on how I go about this. Ooh. Glow dodge is kind of cool. So is color dodge. Kind of want it to be consistent though. Add glow, overlay. Okay, so add glow, and then we'll just tone it down so it's not so overwhelming. It's probably like between 50 and 70. All right, have a good night. Time for some Danny Phantom. Let's see, 50. Let's do 50. I think 50 is fine because it's obvious enough that she would be a ghost. Let's look like a 40. You know what? Let me tone this down. I think I might have added too much of this. So let's try like an 8. Because this was a 10, but I think 10 was too much. So let's try 8 or 7. Rasterize. Blur at 20. Yeah, that looks fine. And then glow. Shift it down to about 50. See it at 40. So look from afar. I think 50 is fine. Yeah, this looks much better. Okay, so we got that version. Oops. Wrong button.
Come on. Thank you. So we got this one. Now we just gotta get her background without the sheet. So grab this. That's kind of cool. With the sheet looking like that. Then grab monster. Come on. No, why are you spazzing out? Oh, you know why? Because it's when I did the slime. Okay, got to do this semi-hard way. Grab you. Grab these. Do it this way. Should be good now. Let's find out. Aha. Turn this one off. I think it was on a 7. And that's her without it. Cool. Alright then. So for now, I'll just do the sheet version. Put my name. Oh yeah, she's an adopted son. Let me grab a character that has the adopted symbol on them. Shouldn't be much longer. File, open. Which size? This one should be fine. I'll just grab Cookie. Oh, where is your symbol?
Did I not put one on you? Either I did not put one on you, or I did, but I did it a different way. Yeah, I did. It's just a different way. Okay, which one of you assholes has the fucking symbol? Like, naturally. God damn it. I think Dolly has it. I'm trying to remember who I gave that symbol to for their file. Come on. Yes, you have it. Copy. Paste. Probably make it bigger. There we go. How big is it in comparison? Should be fine. Maybe a little smaller. There we go. You. So you're good. Should probably toss this into Cookie's file just in case. Okay. Save this. Save because we're fine. Alright. Everything should be good. I was gonna try doing an effect. Let me just see what it looks like before I stop. So you. See how this looks. Probably won't do this.
this. If it does, it'll probably be for whatever comic show it end up in, or piece of artwork. Okay, so this is Holly Fright. So hopefully I did her original artwork justice. I know the music is also pretty matching with this. But yeah, so that's her artwork for the way I'm going to be drawing her in the future. Probably adjust her over time if I need to, but it's pretty much what we're going for. And then she'll also have the alternate forms for her monster. Turn on the glows for that. And then I might make alternates so that way it'll be easier to see the glowing parts. So like, for example, I'll probably do something like this. So like I'll do this, change this to multiply, change this, and so like let's just say I took the glow from monster, I'll do that, probably tone down this a bit just to make it easier to see. But yeah, just something like that. Like I might do that, but judging from how this looks, I'll probably just leave it alone. So yeah, I think I'll just leave it alone. But I'll probably have two versions, one with and without the glow. And then her eyes have the glow on, right? No, they do not. Oh, yes, they do. Okay. But yeah, those are her versions. But this was fun. Thank you for joining me today. I will post her a little later. I'm probably gonna take a small break, probably lay down or whatever. The next thing I'll be working on, aside from Becky's nun outfit, I'll be working on the last jam pick, so I'll probably record myself coloring that. And then depending on how I feel, I might do something extra for that set, similar to what I did with Evil Marcy. If not, then I'll just, go with the original idea. But yeah, I'm gonna finish that up tonight. Make Becky's alternate costume just for fun, and then anything else that I feel like doing. Probably gonna work on Black Circus next, either Black Circus or iHat. And yeah, that's it for tonight. I will stream again on Saturday, same time. And yeah, maybe might stream Arknights. If I do, I'm probably gonna put something over the area that causes issues, that gives out too much information and all that stuff. So I'll probably put something over there, and it'll just be like a permanent thing. I'll try to make it not as annoying to look at, so I'll do my best with that. But if not, then I'll just draw like normal. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. Or not next week, what the hell am I talking about? I'll see you guys on Saturday. Okay, you guys take care. Yeah, hopefully they listen
to the Arknight's request, because, you know, it doesn't hurt to have some thicker characters. But yeah, I will see you guys Saturday, alright? Take care.